All right. It's the football show. My disposition is very negative today.
Why?
Listen. It's brought to you by KG Law. Because you know what? I'm one step from having you call KG and see if I can file a lawsuit against every team I root for. Hope everyone had a wonderful weekend. We have business to attend to. The guy to my right is going to be bubbly, perfect hair as always. I'm going to be Oscar the Grouch popping out of a garbage can.
Why?
So let's do this. Jim, that's a part of the football. Sure, we're going to get to it. So look, this is one of those weeks. You and I were excited when we were picking the games. We should have just said, you know what? The 1 p.m. window was so blessed. Stop. Because it was a 4 p.m. clown car. But we have a lot to get to. Anything else on your mind before we give people content galore?
No, take them to Sunday Night Football. Let's get going.
Let's do it. All right. That's 5 big things brought to you by KG Law. Also, I will be suing class action every team I root for. I want to talk about Seahawks Bucs just because it's fresh, 4 p.m., absolute thriller. Pretty horrible beat if you had Seattle laying 3.5. However, Sam Darnold and Baker just went nuts. I mean, 720 yards, 6 touchdowns, 1 pick. Here's the lead for me. Gingers are going to ginger because Darnold threw a god-awful interception with 30 seconds to go. But is there any quarterback in the league doing more with less? Again, Baker, no Bucky, no Mike Evans. Doesn't matter. 379 in Seattle, one of the hardest places to play. He just does it again, Jim.
No, it's loud. That's a 3-1 football team. Yeah. You got to score 38 to win it, including, fourth quarter heroics. He's doing as good a job as anybody playing quarterback in the NFL right now. And yeah, it's Sam Darnold. Did that ball skip off a helmet? The pick he threw at the end of the game?
Yeah. Naturally it did. No, I think it was disappointing for Seattle. Look, I think if they had won this game, you were going to start to hear some murmurs about Mike McDonald, coach of the year consideration, 4-1. The problem is you're a defensive coach. Your defense spit the bit multiple times, including up 7 late. Here was my one question for you. Look, we know the Bucs are good. I just don't think they're ever going to get to the Lions level. I don't. Eagles, maybe. More on that in a second. Analytics disco. I had to do this. All I thought of was you, but I didn't want to text you because I don't want to ruin the show. The Seahawks go down and score. They can easily just kick a field goal, go up 3. What, about 3.5 minutes to go?
Yeah.
Does that sound about right?
Yeah.
They go for it on 4th and 2. Now, it worked. We do not allow that, and that does not affect our decision. Jim, thumbs up, thumbs sideways, thumbs down.
Thumbs clearly up on this one. It's Mike.
On.
And I'm not just playing the result. Okay, there were 3 minutes, 18 seconds to go. You're in a shootout. You settle for a field goal. You're asking Baker to beat you with a touchdown. You need to match score for score in a track meet. You go for it. They get it. I have no issue with it.
What about just taking the lead? That's all.
Mike, if this is a 13-10 game, yeah, man, take it. You were watching the same game I was. This is quarterbacks trading blows. This is haymakers. You want to be the one that flinches for 2 yards and go, really, in a game where our offense is rolling, we can't get 2 yards and we're going to let Baker beat us.
Jim, I feel like Red in Shawshank when he got out of prison. Like the world's just passed me by. I'm going, just kick the field goal. I mean, I'm laying 3.5 in the game and I say kick the field goal because common sense prevails. All right, let's go to the Eagles, please. This was one of our favorite games of the week, and I love the Broncos in this game. And what do we talk about? The Broncos are one of the only teams that can kind of stand up to the Philly. I think the Lions are another one, but at the line of scrimmage. And it was really fascinating because I don't know what your take is. Real time, you could see the Eagles starting to wear down. And then Denver, both sides of the football, they got 6 sacks, tons of pressure, offensively, pounding the rock, and they just took the game over. Yes, the analytics disco. Sean Payton went for 2. You know your boy Nona didn't like it.
See, I didn't get that one. That's a thumbs down for me, and it worked.
Yes.
But Mike, there's 7 minutes to go in the fourth quarter. You've rallied all the way back. Tie the game and keep wearing on them.
Now, if they don't get that, come here. Can I give you a virtual hug? Come here.
Sure. I'll take the hug.
Tucka.
Risk reward. You don't get it in the air out of the balloon. You're on the road, and now you don't even have the lead. it worked, and
Yeah.
they clearly wore them down. Eagles blew a 2-touchdown lead, ran for 45 yards total in the game. Denver outgains them on the ground by almost 100. That's a bit of a statement right there for Denver.
But this is the thing. This isn't changing. This is who Philadelphia is. You said it. What, 45 yards on the ground?
Yeah.
Jim, they can't run the football. And I don't know how it gets better. And this was a week I thought they had really great success vertically, down the field, taking shots. Devonta Smith on a couple. Jim, they're just not the same team, man.
Well, and where do we begin? Can we diagnose it as an offensive line issue? You said 6 sacks allowed. I gave you 45 yards rushing. This is regarded as the number 1 offensive line in all of football. Is it time to take them off the pedestal?
For me, it is, yeah. And I think what this did, too, is I'd like to take the Eagles off the pedestal. I'd just like to say, and look, there are going to be plenty of people. I believed all along. Good for you. Go watch a fucking Disney movie. The point is, it's a prove-it deal. The Lions have proved it. And I know it got sloppy late. You know what? They were up 1-0-2. You got Jake Browning, who couldn't start for the Montreal Alouettes or the Toronto Argonauts. And, yeah, it got sloppy. That game was not that close. That game was a joke. The Lions are
just the whole second half.
Yeah, they're just business. The Lions are comprehensively 5 weeks into the year. They're the best team in the NFC. Period. They've earned that right. They've earned the right to be called that. Not on hope or maybes, on production. And Jim, Campbell's got a thing with that team. And I know we're going to do Lions talk later, but they're just letdown proof. They're all business. Very rare in this league, man.
You have this round robin at the top. Bucs 4-1, Eagles 4-1, Lions 4-1. Lions are going to play the Bucs on Monday night in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And Lions are going to travel to Philly later in the year. But you're just asking me today. Yeah, Detroit's answered a ton of questions from the offseason. Yeah. They look like the best team in the NFC.
100%. Now, again, look, we'll get to it during the Lions thing. I've got a couple concerns. They're legit, but nothing that freaks me out yet. Okay. Can I have a moment on something? And I don't know if people agree with this. Scott Hansen must be stopped.
Oh.
Must. Jim.
Floor's yours. Go ahead.
No. Scott, we don't need your play-by-play over the play-by-play in the background. Now it's 2 play-by-plays. And he never shuts up. Ever. Oh, I wonder if that's going to be a pass interference. And, oh, look, we're going triple box. And it's like, just throw it to a game. Teleprompter boy, just throw it to a game. And then he's doing the play-by-play. Ooh, look at that spin move and a dip. If you can dodge a wrench, you can dodge a ball. Oh, and we're over to here. And then, oh, that was a shit call. And it's like, well, who asked for your opinion, prompter boy?
It's his job. He's the one narrating the game.
No, the announcers narrate the game. Go to the game.
He is navigating us through a football journey. Now,
that guy couldn't navigate his way out of a paper bag.
I think he does get himself into talking and he doesn't know when the sentence is going to end or where he's going and he kind of rambles. Agreed. But the hate that you have for this man, he shepherds us through these Sundays.
First of all, I don't need a damn shepherd. I'm not a goat. Second of all, I watched Red Zone for years. This man is morphing into a monster. No one is stopping him. What I would love is for the people who are watching this or listening to this, you have all these outlets for feedback beyond, Jim's an asshole, Mike's a dick, whatever. Is Scott Hansen wearing on you? Like, it's bad enough. I think he's fake as hell and his voice grates on me. But my God, the play-by-play, you are not the play-by-play guy. Stop it. Just throw it to the game. We have capable people calling games.
He is a bit animatronic, and he does just talk and talk and talk. But it is
don't go big word on me. This has been a very long, taxing, emotional weekend for me. How dare you with animatronic?
To navigate us from game anyway.
Animatronic. All right, you have an idea to improve European football, and it's not my suggestion, which is can the whole thing and don't play him anymore.
No, Mike, they're not going to get rid of it. They want more of this stuff. So here's my solution. The Vikings just spent 2 weeks overseas, right? Dublin and then London.
Yes.
My rule, you can't leave Europe until you win. So the Browns, there's drama now, right? Will they get home in time for Christmas? Imagine this. Can they get back to U.S. soil? They have to win their way out of Europe.
Passports at the embassy?
Yes.
I mean, file this under my clown's mouth ideas for long field goals. But yes, I think it would be utterly hilarious to like trap the Cleveland Browns in Spain all football season. And then the organization has to refund the fans all their money, like duty free. Yes, it would be hilarious.
Because it just adds a little extra stakes to what's normally flat early morning football. Now it's not,
the game wasn't bad. The game wasn't bad. Let me say that. It wasn't bad.
No, but these games are typically bad. So instead of, I don't know, Dylan Gabriel making his debut, can he throw for 200 yards? The stakes are, do they get to see their children? Do they get to kiss their wives goodnight? They better win the game today or they're going back to a sad hotel alone.
I mean, in an alternative universe, yeah, you're speaking my language because I'm fueled on spite when it comes to sports. All right, we are at the quarter pole-ish. We're somewhere between 25% and 33%, and Jim dropped an animatronic on us. So I have some quarter pole statements here, and you get to say yes, no, maybe at the quarter pole-ish. And I wanted to just start league-wide. It's just something – my whole life has been football and watching football and doing it for my job. Jim, I feel like the product in the NFL, there are more hopeless teams earlier in the year than at any point I can remember. And whether it's Giants, Jets, Raiders, these hopeless, the Bengals, who the Lions play today. Jim, do you remember? And I know I'm hearkening, but like, do you remember it being this bad this early for this many?
No. Not for this many. I mean, I think you can get 5, 6 real quick off the top of your head. You named a lot of them where I don't know if they believe in their coach or their quarterback or both. Many of those teams, they don't believe in either at this point.
Animatronic. I don't even know what that means. I got to go look it
robotic. Okay, we're not going to do a vocab lesson every week.
This guy went to Central Michigan. You don't get to use words like that.
I'm going to have to put like word of the day behind me every week now. Animatronic. No, but who would you say is the most hopeless of 6, 7 hopeless situations?
Okay, I want to offer you something unique. I think it would be very easy to say Jets, Giants, whatever. How about the Raiders? Your coach is 74 years old and he's a gum-chewing idiot. Your quarterback looks like a guy who's basically ready to go to Cabo. Gino doesn't give a shit. 9 intercept. 9. No self-respecting veteran throws 9 interceptions in 5 weeks. You're paying an edge right. Poor Max Crosby. All the guy does is just play his ass off. He's out there alone. I think because again, Pete Carroll didn't know if he's going to wake up in the morning. Gino's not the answer. You just used the 6th pick in the draft on a running back. And by the way, you basically don't have any home games because everyone's out there on a casino comp seeing their team play. So I think the Raiders are very low key, very hopeless.
I like it. I mean, I think Dolphins are a pretty clear one because I'm not a Tua guy, but his quarterback play is better than Gino's, and his coach isn't, 75 years old. No issue there.
Okay. Lions are the only letdown-proof team in the league.
Agreed.
Okay.
Agreed. Think about this, because in the NFL, you're not supposed to win by double digits week after week after week. On the road, no matter who it is, it shouldn't be normal. Mike, last year they beat people by an average of 12 points per game. This year they're beating people by an average of 12 points per game. They do not overlook the little guys, whether it's Cleveland or Cincinnati. They're in complete control, and they dump truck you.
And by the way, they'll be the first team since 1940-41. If they can repeat averaging 33 points a game like they did last year, they're on pace to do so. They're a freight train right now. I want to see if I can bring you to the altar of peace. Is the Ravens season over? Are the Ravens dead? Come on, give Nona a hug. Come here.
What was the final score today?
1,000-10.
Yeah, 44-10. So it's going to be real easy to say.
To the Texans.
It's going to be at home. It's going to be real easy to say they're dead. I am not there yet.
Oh,
no.
You're being very animatronic right now.
Hear me out. Here is their schedule from the end of October to the end of December. These injuries on defense are not season ending. Lamar will come back at some point. They'll play the Dolphins, Vikings, Browns, Jets, Bengals twice, Steelers, and Patriots. There's still a runway, as bad as it is, for Baltimore to get themselves in the postseason.
You are clinging. I give you credit. You are clinging to hope. Let me tell you something.
I'm not even a Ravens guy.
It feels like you are a little bit, little animatronic. Listen, here's the deal. People think I'm strong with my convictions. I don't hold a candle. When you get entrenched on something, man.
You say it like it's a good thing, and it's really a flaw. I'm just a stubborn person.
It's wild. All right, Ravens are dead. Here's just kind of a hot takey thing from watching more of Colts football than I care to admit. At the quarter pole-ish, you think the Bears really screwed the pooch here not taking Tyler Warren and he falls to the Colts? Because Tyler Warren's going to a Pro Bowl and Colston Loveland's in Yuma, Arizona in witness protection. Tyler Warren's a dude, and they're doing exactly what they did at Penn State. Hey, this guy's throwing it, catching it, running it. He's an ultra back. That feels like a real early miss, no?
It does. Warren was great today. Colts have been great so far. Colston Loveland. I mean, look, they're coming off a bye week this week. They got to get him more involved out of the bye in Chicago.
They do. No, they do. And again, you can do misses all the time, but that was like a particular one where everybody said, hey, Tyler Warren's the number one tight end in the class. Tyler Warren would be a great fit for the Bears. Man, oh, man. And by the way.
It's Ben Johnson's Sam Laporta, right?
Yeah, and it's day one, and it's working. Real quick on the Colts, quarter Polish. You ready for this?
Mm-hmm.
Outside of the Buffalo Bills, the Colts are the second best team in the AFC.
No, it's the team playing on Monday night.
Okay. Okay. Oh, I forgot. We've fallen into another one of Jim's trenches he's dug into. His blessed Kansas City Chiefs. Did you celebrate the Chiefs not being dead with a week of Taylor Swift album release?
I did not, Mike. Okay. I'm not a Swiftie.
All right. Oh, well, you're a bit animatronic. All right, listen. If you drop another word like that, you're just going to see the screen go black. You're on your own the rest of the tonight. All right, give him a word from KG Law. We'll continue the business.
So let's do it. Let's tell you about KG Law. The football show is brought to you by KG Law. You've been on these roads. People are maniacs. If you or someone you love is in a car accident, don't mess around. Get someone who cares about you. 877-KG-CARES, kgcares.com. You get the extra attention from a law firm that cares and puts you first. KG Law specializes in car accidents, so they're not going to leave money on the table. They're not going to settle for some lousy insurance lowball. Get my guy, Lawrence KG, and KG Law at 877-KG-CARES. That's K-A-J-Y, kgcares.com.
Yeah, well, if KG cares, I want a class action against the Spartans, Yankees, and Giants. All right? Get on it. File that one. Let's get to the rundown, brought to you by Hungry Howies. We start in Europe. We talked about it. Vikings 21, Browns 17. Browns lose the game in typical Brown fashion. Your rookie QB gets you up 17-14. All you got to do is just not spit the bit and give up 7 in regulation. Boop, bop, beep, bop, boop. They do exactly that. But for a moment, your Dylan Gabriel thoughts.
He played safe and smart, threw a couple touchdowns, didn't have any catastrophic plays. Yeah, they were in a position to win that game if their defense, the strength of the team, gets a stop late.
Yeah, and as far as the Vikings go, I don't know, man. I know the injuries are real. I thought Wentz was going to be able to keep him afloat a little bit, but man, does he hold the football a long time. Like, once he pats the football, he's dead. I mean, the line just can't do. It is not an offensive line capable of that. So I don't
know. Have 3 injuries up front. I mean, so it's just a bad combination. Quarterback who holds it plus 3 guys banged up front. But at the end of the day, 2-minute drill, he leads them. They score against a good defense. I mean, Mike, he's winning this job, right? It's not just handed to JJ when he's healthy.
And we had Browns plus 4.5, so we won that game. Yippee. Texans, Ravens, we just talked about it. We don't need to go that crazy, but can we talk about the Texans for a minute? Now, look, for weeks, it didn't matter who they played. They couldn't do anything. I thought Stroud was solid. Yes, there were a couple of horrific snaps where he basically was swarmed. But overall, Jim, it's more about the Ravens than the Texans. I think this is a referendum on just how bad the Ravens are. But you want to talk Texans, rock and roll.
Yeah, I mean, look, you see there, Stroud, 4 incomplete passes for the game. He threw 4 touchdowns. They needed this. I know it's against the shell of a Baltimore defense, a shell of a team, a husk, if you will.
Yes.
But it's kind of a see the ball go through the hoop moment for Houston, right? At 1-3, running out of steam. Colts are starting to run away with your division. They needed this spot on the road. And look, they could have won by 3 and it counts. To put up 44 and get their offense going, I think was the takeaway.
Yeah. And then honestly, that one, the minute they were favored in that game, you kind of was like the script writers were telling you, this is our proudest moment, honestly. Panthers catching 1.5. You can keep it. They beat the Dolphins head up. I'm just proud. I'm like a proud papa. We bet the Panthers. But look, here's the problem. This was simpler. Bryce Young did his best to lose the game in the first half. An awful turnover. One where he was basically like bullied. He got stuffed into a locker and fumbled. A terrible pick. But you know how you erase 17-0 deficit? The Dolphins had about 5 yards rushing on the day. The Panthers ended up with almost 300 yards rushing. The Rico Dowdell Memorial game. And look, to Bryce's credit, he led him down the field, assisted by a running game, but a couple of big answers because they spit the bit. They were down 24-21. And what did they do? They rallied. And they scored to win the game. And look, it's painful, but you got to get up off the mat at some point. So it's solid. Miami's just a lost cause. Dude.
Yeah. So I took more out of this from the Miami side. I don't know what to make of Carolina. Like, to be fair, they've had some moments, a 30-0 win against Atlanta this year. Yeah. Even their loss to Arizona, they showed fight. They showed fight in this game. At the same time, Bryce was benched a week ago and they gave up 42 points. They're hard to figure out. The team I know who they are, Miami. Miami should not have won on Monday night, and they blew a 17-0 lead in this game. They're soft. Their coach is in outer space, and he's going to get fired. I know who they are.
Yeah, and we got to do that. There's no graphic necessary. I'm just going to tell you, Cowboys a lot, Jets a little. And the Jets in the first half of that game, 292 yards allowed on defense. That's still a Jet defense that has Sauce Gardner and Quinnen Williams, and they have some players. And I'm telling you right now, Jim, look, we understand how this works. Like, Dan Campbell started out like 3-14, then he was 1-6 in year 2. And if he didn't start winning, he was going to get clipped. And he did start winning. Here's the difference. Detroit and New York are not the same. I'm worried they're not going to give Aaron Glenn time because this thing is off the rails early. And those players do not look like they enjoy football for money.
What is your message to Jets fans? Because they hear, well, this isn't the same old Jets, and I'm seeing, yeah, it's worse.
My message to Jet fans?
Yeah. As a Giants fan, I got you. But
okay.
like as someone who watched what Dan Campbell did, and I'm not promising them that this is going to be Dan Campbell 2.0. I think Dan Campbell is unique in that way, but you tear it down to build it back up. He was peeling paint after their loss on Monday night. Clearly, they are not a good team, but this is the necessary evil, is it not?
Yeah, it is. And look, it was the dreaded best week of practice ever cutscene. We're down 30-3. Man, look, the pieces are there. They lost their best O-lineman and Elijah Vera Tucker to start the year. I could envision, look, their tackles are playing really well, and Membao and Fashanu. I could put the pieces together to understand what they want to do offensively. It's defensively. I just cannot believe what I'm watching. And I don't know what it is. But no, look, Cowboys got to win.
The fear is they didn't hire Dan Campbell. They hired Antonio Pierce.
Yes.
That would be the fear.
Yeah, big time. Let's go Saints Giants. Why? I don't know. I'm proud of Jim. This was one. Saints were favored in a football game. You knew what to do. Here's very simple for me with the Giants. Ready? 1 week in, everyone saw the tape, and we're not going to let you do those things. Brian Daboll, Jackson Dart, etc. So the Giants go down. They have a early success on script. And you know what the Saints did? That's enough for that. The Giants don't have any weapons. The kid's not ready to play. You turn the ball over 5 times. You're dead. You're dead. So, look, the Giants are terrible. I mean, that's why last week was nothing more than a cookie. It's empty calories. It ain't good for you. I mean, last week made you feel nice, but it's a cookie. Now it's back to reality. The Giants are trash. I don't know. At the quarter pole-ish, I will tell you, I'm just worried it's going to go off the rails because with no Malik Neighbors, there's no weapons. I don't know how you develop a quarterback. For the Saints, whatever. Congrats. Nobody should go winless. I don't have anything else in this game. Honestly, 2 teams played. No one will remember it. Orange slices for all.
No, it's just a come down from Dart's first start. You hit the road. You throw 2 picks, both bad picks. This was
awful.
I mean, you said it. It was written in the line. The Saints were favored. I mean, this was a wake-up call for anybody that got too carried away with Jackson Dart in week 1 or his first start.
And also, Big G is currently walking aimlessly along Telegraph. I have nothing. I haven't spoken to him. I fear. I fear he may be in a depressive state. All right. Chargers, Commanders. You want to talk about a wake-up call? Let's do one with the Chargers. The most insane stat of the week. Brought to you by me. Chargers have given up, according to the broadcast, 53 pressures in 3 weeks. 22 to the Giants, 24 this week. Jim, we knew they had some injuries up front. The Chargers get up 10-0 and don't score again. And Washington bodied them. And that is not one of the better pass rushes in the league. That is not, the Denver Broncos. Jim, I don't know what to say, but they're quickly going to go from my darling to win the West to a team that might miss the playoffs because Herbert, he got sacked 5 times. It could have been 50. It was the same as last week with the Giants. I told you that. I mean, they had him dead to rights, but he's so big and strong and he's fast. Jim, I don't know how they're going to survive if they can't protect better than this.
Well, yeah, look, they're not running the ball either. I know they ran for 150 yards. 60 is Herbert doing what he can. I mean, they had no traditional run game, and they didn't protect for their quarterback. And suddenly, a team that started 3-0, I mean, Denver is 3-2, tied for first place. I know they didn't win the head-to-head. Kansas City, if they win Monday, 3-2. Suddenly, this big lead in the division is gone 5 weeks into the season.
Yeah, and they have a problem that's the hardest thing in the world to fix. There are 2 things in this league that I just don't know are fixable. Pass protection and the ability to stop the run. If you're bad at those things, it's just what it is. This is the life you chose.
And I know Alt's not done for the season, but hey, you're losing a lot of ground right now.
I don't care if they have to wheel him out there. You've got to try something. Yeah. All right, let's go Cardinals, Titans, because this is a proud moment for you. I know you love Cam Ward. I'm very excited for you. I would just like to tell you I disassociate any nice thing I've ever said about the Cardinals, ever, going back to when Chuck Cecil played for him, going back to Pat Tillman. I'm done. Jake the Snake. They are the most unprofessional you-know-whats in the league. First of all, DeMercado, say it, I would have cut his ass. 80-yard touchdown run. All you have to do is carry the ball into the end zone. Nope, he's got to show everybody, look what I have, fumble. Whole game turned on that. Then they intercept Cam Ward, and they start trying to get up, run around. They fumble. The ball goes back in the end zone. The Titans recover. Unprofessional, unsavory, uncouth, animatronic. I'm done. I hope they never win a game again. I didn't pick the game. I didn't have any. My heart breaks because to have the pieces of a winning football team, they're just assholes. I'm done. I can't even watch it.
At least they're saving their collapse for the first half of the season instead of the second half
right?
of the season. Save all their fans the trouble. This is who they are. And sure, you could make it about the Cardinals, but we were sitting in the little waiting room before we jumped in for the football show, and I'm going, Cam Ward, big time throw at the end of that game to set him up for the game-winning field goal. He had a big throw to Gunnar Helm that they ran in, so he doesn't get credit for the touchdown. But he's saving Callahan's job, maybe to his own detriment in the long term. But Cam Ward had some big plays in that game.
It was a nice step forward. I'd be careful updating your LinkedIn. All right.
No, I'm saying I think you could have justified Callahan being fired today.
Maybe.
But he's not fired today. That's my point.
Okay. And it's a good one in a non-animatronic way. All right. Let me take care of some business. Throw up a picture of some pizza, will you, Evan? People need this for their night tonight with Sunday Night Football, maybe the Tigers game. Hungry Howies, Detroit-style pizza. Look, you know what you get with Hungry Howies. All the flavored crust. You get in-house made dough. You get the best ingredients. And, yes, they offer Detroit-style pizza. So if that's your jam, go for it. Order some tonight. You got 2 big games to watch. Get involved. It's Hungry Howie's Detroit-style pizza for $12.99, which is rather competitive pricing. Get over to hungryhowies.com. You can celebrate boldly with Detroit-style pizza. All right, Cookies, let's do the business. Your team, the Lions, crushed the Bengals 37-24. The score wasn't that close. All I put in my notes is the Lions are Beverly Hills. They're recession-proof. This is who they are. They're not going to do what other teams do. They're not going to lay down. You want to knock them? They got a little bit lazy late. I don't know. I see it every week. They're up 28-3. Who gives a shit? The 2 things that concern me are the following. It's clear you got a bad secondary. DJ Reed is going to be missed. You need him back. Terrian was up to his penalties again. Cost you a safety early. You got it back later. The other thing would be, look, this Taylor Decker situation. I'm actually quite okay. They didn't play him, but Goff got knocked around today, and it's clear you need him. Manu's not ready. Those would be my only two things. I'm not going crazy about anything else. Professional business trip, and they do what really good teams do. And the Bengals are not an NFL football team, so I don't know what to tell you.
28-3, the game was over. I don't care that Cincy made it look a little nicer. Detroit still covered the spread, still won by double digits. They disco people every week, and that's not supposed to happen. You're not supposed to beat everybody by double digits every single week, but they did it last year to the tune of 15 wins. They're winning by more points per game this year than even last year, and there's not much to say about the game itself today. I did have the note about Taylor Decker too, because this is going to be a season-long thing. You know, they've said they need to manage him. They need to get him to where he needs to be at the end of the year. And this was an easy call to sit him. And there may be a couple more down the stretch if they take care of their business in the first half of the season.
Yeah. And look, I think it's something too, is like the average fan, we even are guilty of it too sometimes. They're men, they're not machines. And if people really knew how many of these guys need to be managed to survive a season, it's like at the end of the year, you know what you don't hear about? The 3 surgical procedures your favorite player had to have done so they could be upright for OTAs. So they're going to need to manage it. I think the biggest benefit the Lions have had is they have largely avoided significant offensive line injuries now for going on, 3 years? Like Penei Sewell's there every week. Ragnow, even now when he retired, right? But pre-retirement, Ragnow, he would play hurt. Hey, I tore my pec, duct tape it, I'm playing. Like other teams we're seeing. You talked about Minnesota earlier, losing some linemen. Look, the Lions didn't have Decker today, and it looked a little different. But overall, if they keep that front healthy, they're a monolith, man. They really are. I mean, I still have concerns on defense because as bad as that Bengal O-line is, it's not like you ravaged Jake Browning. What'd you get, 2 sacks today? Now, you shut down the running game, but I mean, remember, worst team in the league running the football outside of Cincinnati averages 82 a game. The Bengals committed a robust 40 yards a game. I mean, there's bad, and then you take a ladder down to Bengal land.
Okay, so you mentioned the secondary. Terrion Arnold, he had another couple penalties in the game, right? He had one that took away a safety, would have been another sack. I thought Aiden was all over the place today, and as he should have been.
Yeah, I'd like to think so. Jesus.
Yeah. But Terrion Arnold, there's still the issues there.
Handsy, that's his problem. Yeah. Like it's not that I think he's a bad player, but some guys like here, let me throw a name. You know who he reminds me of a little bit is Trey Waynes. Remember the corner from State?
MSU.
Got drafted top 15 by the Vikings, and then he went to the Bengals. He never translated to the pro game because he couldn't or wouldn't stop doing what he did on Saturdays. He was physical, handsy, grabby, whatever you want to call. Terrion's the same thing. I wish they'd let Terrion play a little bit more.
Well, some of this is like, okay, the Lions want to play man. They're going to put him in man. They're going to enable him to use his size. And now he's getting a bit of a reputation where I think the officials know to look for it. So it kind of spirals. The other guy I wanted to shout out, and he got burned by Jamar Chase, so it kind of ruins the spotlight.
Uh-oh.
Man, I love Amik Robertson, and I hated that he got burned on that double move for a big touchdown. But Mike, the first pick of the game, he's one-on-one with Chase. Last year for the division, he was one-on-one with Jefferson. I think he's one of the most underrated corners in football because he plays the slot. He plays the outside.
Versatile, tough, and what a lot of guys aren't. He's a willing tackler.
Yep.
So many of these corners do not want to come up and tackle. And with the game being an RPO game now and a lot of stuff at the line of scrimmage, you need your corners to support and to go out and be physical. Yeah, Amik is undersized, but he's a little pit bull. He fits the culture here, right? He fits what the Lions are.
Right. He had the moment after they beat the Vikings, and it comes from dirt. You can't bury what comes from dirt. Very
all right.
But that's the culture, right? So and it's not fake or phony. It's authentic to who he is, and he's going to be counted on maybe a lot because you're right. DJ Reed's on IR, so for the next month or so, Amik is going to have to be their number one corner.
All right, Evan. Let's get a word from our sponsors, if you're so kind, and we'll get to our question of the week.
All right, elevate your tailgating this coming football season. Moran Chevrolet, Michigan's #1 selling Chevy dealer. Best game days start with a brand new 26 Silverado Crew Cab 4x4. You could lease one for $349 a month, 24 months, only $999 down. The entire team at Moran, they make the process simple. It's what it's supposed to be, stress-free. Go to MoranExpress.com, get all your certified service. You get the free loaner vehicle as well when you schedule. It's super easy. MoranExpress.com or stop by. It's on Gratiot, just north of 15 Mile in Clinton Township. Moran Chevrolet, where you always get the best price, period. Chevrolet, together. Let's drive.
All right, let's get our question of the week brought to you by C4. 3 new flavors, frostbitten citrus, cherry frost, which is my Friday beverage deal, and the tundra frost. So, Jim, the question of the week comes in from Dakota in Canton. Of the Super Bowl contenders, what teams have the smallest window and need to go all in the most? I'm the wrong person to ask, Dakota, because I think if you're in your window, it's the skinny one on the right. You put the pedal down and you do everything in your power to go get it. So this one is on old cookies.
So I want to start with, he says, of the Super Bowl contenders. So who are the Super Bowl contenders? I looked at the teams listed at 10-1 or better to win the Super Bowl. That's
Sounds
the
fair.
Bills, Eagles, Lions, Packers, Chiefs.
Okay, fair.
Okay. The next batch are the teams I think that would need to be desperate. There are the Chargers, Rams, Niners. Niners feel like they're at the end of the line here. Rams quarterback could be retired any year now. I think those teams are far more desperate.
Of the 4 desperation teams, the one that has the ability to go all in and the need with fixable issues, Rams.
Yeah.
Chargers, you're not going to find a tackle on the open market. Ravens are dead. I mean, I know you're going to keep shoveling. I root for you. The Niners, come on. Now, of the biggest teams, Chiefs, Packers, Lions, Eagles, Bills, I just view it all the same way. Trade deadline's coming here in a couple weeks. I'm all in. Not stupid. I'm not trading 3 first-round picks now. But if I'm the Lions, I'm absolutely adding to my D-line. If I'm the Eagles, I'm going to go out and try to do something defensively to add to my front because it's not the same defense. So I think there's answers for all these teams out there. If I'm the Chiefs, I'm looking for a running back. I'm looking for somebody a little bit elusive because they just have couple of hammers back there.
You're right. So I looked through those teams and I'm thinking, okay, you got Josh Allen. The window is wide open if you're the Bills. Lions, I think it's a good 2-year window here this year and next year before those contracts start to squeeze them. And that doesn't mean they won't be competitive, but just windows are real. Eagles, kind of the same thing the next couple of years. Packers, they're burning first-round picks. I feel like the spotlight's on Green Bay once you burn first-round picks.
And they already made their move. Let's be fair. They went all in with the Micah Parsons thing.
And the Chiefs, I mean, Travis Kelce probably his last year. I mean,
Please
you probably have a wide open window with Mahomes, but there's an urgency to try to win right now.
All right. Let me give you a word from C4. We'll get to Sunday Night Football, get people to Tiger Baseball as well. Look, if you have a question for us, get to a participating 7-Eleven. Look for the QR code at the C4 Energy display or right on the cooler. You're standing there with a blank look on your face looking at all the flavors. Scan the QR code, ask your question for a list of participating 7-Elevens or contest details, 971theticket.com. C4, the energy drink you need. 200 milligrams of good caffeine in the regular performance energy, or 300, as I referenced earlier. That is my Friday afternoon delight. C4 isn't your traditional energy drink. It's next level. Sugar-free, made for athletes and for radio hosts. C4 rolled out their 4 Jolly Rancher flavors. So if you like that stuff, rock and roll, go get it. Lots of good stuff in there, including things I can't even pronounce. Bottom line, get to a 7-Eleven and find the QR code at the C4 Energy display. All right, brother, we got Sunday Night Football on tap. Yes, it'll probably be on the iPad compared to playoff baseball, but it is Bills Pats. It's brought to you by Crocodile Cloth. Bills laying 7.5. To me, this is just a credibility game for the Patriots. They've been very uneven, very sloppy. I'm a big Vrabel guy. I was a big Patriot guy. They haven't been good enough. Like tonight, Jim, yes, they're going to have to run the football against the Bills defense that is not gelled yet. Tons of new pieces. This is a Drake May game. There's been a couple games this year he's thrown 13 passes. I mean, what are you playing for Army? So to me, it's a Patriot credibility game. If you're the Bills, it's a divisional opponent on primetime. And no, you're not the Lions. I won't pick any. I won't sit here and pick anybody to disco every opponent they play unless it's Detroit at this point. So to me, it's a lean to the Patriots. Give me your read on it.
Yeah, so it's not a Drake May game. It's a run the football game. Ed Oliver out for this game. You're going to need to win the line of scrimmage to stay in it on the road. And sure, that doesn't mean Drake May is absolved. He's going to have to keep up. But I think the key is to take the pressure off your quarterback on the road. They need to run the ball if they're going to hang in this football game.
I agree totally. What I'm saying is you're running with purpose because, look, you're not going to run it 56 times. It's going to have to be to curate the real, meaningful vertical throws that have been missing from this offense, the play action. And look, let's be real about it. People don't look at Drake May as being mobile, but he is. He can move, man. He's a weapon in the red zone. Quarterback run is the ultimate weapon inside the 10 because now you're unaccounted, right? The quarterback's in play. You're not just standing there. Oh, look, I have a towel. Like, I just feel like this could be a moment for him. And if he bleeps himself, I'm going to be pretty bummed out if the Pats don't play tough tonight.
So think about it. Patriots are 2-2. Their 2 wins are a blowout against the Panthers, and they won in Miami against the team we think might be the worst in football.
They don't have credibility.
No, their losses. They lost to the Raiders, who we think are hopeless, and they lost to the Steelers on a day where they had 5 turnovers.
Correct. 2 going in the end zone.
So they need to have a more buttoned-up game here. Play keep away, run the ball, help your quarterback on the road. And if it gets out of hand, it gets out of hand. Maybe we're wrong about them. They're not ready to take the leap
back tonight helps, though. That helps. That's their superstar corner. They need him.
But the biggest issue is they got to go up against these Bills uniforms. Have you seen these?
No.
These are their iced out, all white. These might be the best uniforms in football.
Okay. I mean, listen. Josh Allen could wear a paper bag on his head. He's the best player in the league. But yeah, I'll be sure to give you a uniform grade on that. I don't want to come off as animatronic.
Okay. I also want to give the Bills a bit of a kiss of death here. If you looked at their schedule, I don't know when they're losing their first football game. They're the last undefeated team in the NFL, Mike.
Let me
look at the schedule. They get the Chiefs at home. They get the Eagles at home. But those are in November and December. They're set up for a big runway here.
I hate
you want me to give it to you? I can give you their schedule.
Real quick, do it, and then we got to get out of here.
Okay, so Patriots at Falcons.
Sneaky.
Couple primetime games, and then it's a bye week.
That's a sneaky one, Jim.
I know. At Carolina after the bye.
No.
They get Kansas City at home. If they get through that one, it'll be a tough one. You should have Rashee Rice back. It's Miami. Tampa Bay at home.
Ooh, I like that one.
At Houston, at Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, New England, Cleveland, Philly, but it's at home, and then the Jets to close. All the big games are at home for them.
Perfect. Jim just signed them up for 7 losses after saying they won't lose a single game. All right, let's get a word from Crocodile Cloth, and then we will send you guys to football, baseball, or whatever Sunday activity you have planned.
All right, well, we got a second. Let's tell you about Crocodile Cloth. It's your do-it-all solution for life's toughest messes, and we love the Crocodile Cloth grill. Here's why. If you love grilling but hate the cleanup, these are going to be a game changer. They've got Crocodile Cloth grill. They're 10-inch by 15-inch. They stay wet a long time, and they're going to power through anything that gets caked on or baked on your grill. Crocodile Cloth can clean your cooler, your outdoor furniture, anything and everything that gets messy at your tailgate or cookout. So go to crocodilecloth.com/football show. Get a tailgate bundle and a free gift. As they say at Crocodile Cloth, go ahead, get messy.
Probably could use some of those for the way my team shit on me this weekend. Clean up that mess. All right, Jim, any parting words for the people?
I want to get to playoff baseball.
All right, this guy's jittery over here. Guys, we really appreciate you watching, listening, rate, review, subscribe, and all that jazz. We'll be back with you for week 6 of the football show. We'll talk to you guys later.